Hello and welcome back to Small Screen Stories. This is the show where I go over all the news in the world of entertainment and pop culture. All these stories are taken from Small Screen. That's at small-screen.co.uk. And I'm the editor of Small Screen. I'm Edward Lauder. You can follow me over at EJ Lauder. If you like what we do here, please like and subscribe. That'd be really wonderful. And that's on YouTube. And if you can follow the Facebook page, like the Facebook page, follow us anywhere and everywhere on social media at Small Screen Co. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also listen to this as a podcast. I put this out as a podcast later in the day, and you can find that wherever you get your podcasts at Small Screen Stories. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, then give us 5 stars. That'd be really wonderful. Right, let's just get straight into the news of the day. And the biggest news of, not the day, this is from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So there's quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to really rush through all of it. So not too much discussion on things. I'm sorry about that. But the very first thing to go over is that Johnny Depp is set to star alongside Winona Ryder in Tim Burton's Beetlejuice 2. So I actually got this story from The Express, which is where I used to work, but they're quoting an unnamed Hollywood source who told them that, yes, that it looks very much like Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp is going to be coming back not coming back, he's going to be part of Beetlejuice 2, which was, it was rumored that was happening quite a while ago. So back in 2015, Winona Ryder, who's also said to be coming back for the movie, was speaking to Seth Meyers on his show, and whilst she was on that show, she actually revealed that they're working on it, that the script's being written. So the script actually has been written, but Tim Burton at the moment is working on the Addams Family TV show, which I think is going to come out first. But then it looks like the thing he's going to be making after that is Beetlejuice 2. So this is the quote from the source. Tim Burton is finally making a Beetlejuice sequel and giving Johnny Depp a prominent role in the film. So, this is pretty exciting. You know, she said Winona Ryder back in 2015 told Seth Meyers that she doesn't know much more than anybody else, but she did confirm that it's happening. So this has been on and off for quite some time, but it looks like it's going to be back on. And moving away from that bit of the news and on to an exclusive of ours, which is that when I heard about this happening, I was asking around, and I can now confirm that Michael Keaton is going to be coming back as Beetlejuice, who's the character he played in the first Beetlejuice movie. He's going to be coming back for Beetlejuice 2. This is one of the things that a lot of people, when I posted the story about Johnny Depp, were asking about. So I did ask around, and then the source that I've worked with on multiple occasions did say Beetlejuice 2 is happening. I can't say anything about Depp's involvement, but what I can confirm is that Michael Keaton will be back in the film as Beetlejuice. I don't know how you pronounce it that way. I think it is Beetlejuice. It's just a different spelling. I'll bring that up here for you guys. So here you go. That's the first quote. And then I pressed the source for a bit more information, and then they said, it looks like Tim Burton will be directing the film, but it might not start filming for a while. One of the things I've heard since is that, yes, it will be the Addams Family first. That's the thing he seems to be very keen on making, which also, at the moment, it looks like Johnny Depp's in talks to be in that. And that will be, we don't know quite where it's going to be coming yet. I'm pretty sure it'll probably end up on Netflix, but we don't know at the moment. So then I just pressed some other sources about this, and they did say that they did confirm that Michael Keaton would be back, but they didn't want to be directly quoted, which is fine. So this is something that I've been really, really excited about for a very long time. So I'm just glad it's happening. I'm glad that people are excited about it. I'm glad that Tim Burton is doing it. So just let me know what you guys think in the comments. You can comment right now if you're on. I am following the comments on YouTube, but if you want to comment on the Facebook video as well, that's fine. That'll be really, really great, actually. So let me know what you guys think. Right, moving on to some delay news. So I'm just going to go through the things that at the moment are confirmed to have been delayed. So, that's No Time to Die and Morbius. So Morbius has been delayed to 2022, and No Time's been delayed to October 2021. So that's quite a big delay. That's basically a year now, or over a year even, for No Time to Die. That's been delayed, and Morbius is also in that bracket, and it looks very much like Black Widow will also be delayed. At the moment, it's coming out in May, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be delayed by Marvel Studios because it looks like things aren't going quite the way they wanted with the vaccines. People can't get enough, governments can't get enough of these vaccines, which is terrible. And I think the delay is going to continue on into 2022. I'm not sure if we're going to see any movies coming out this year. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know that's a real bummer, but at the moment, that's the way it's going, which is just a shame. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Do you think these films should be delayed, or do you think they should just release them on streaming services? I'm personally more in the camp of just waiting for them to be released in cinemas. I do really want to see these films. I'm desperate to see No Time to Die. I really want to see Black Widow. I even want to see Morbius. I want to see Venom 2. All these films I want to see. But I think it's best for the industry as a whole if they just wait and put them in cinemas. But it looks like Warner Brothers is doing something different. We do have Godzilla vs. Kong, which is coming, which that trailer was brilliant, by the way. That was a really, really good trailer. I really, really loved that trailer. I wasn't a big fan of Godzilla King of the Monsters, but I'm a massive fan of the first Godzilla film, which is Gareth Edwards' film, and brilliant movie. I thought Kong Skull Island was pretty good as well. It's not as good as Godzilla, but I thought I enjoyed it. But this upcoming film, even though we've had a real blip with King of the Monsters, but this upcoming film, Godzilla vs. Kong, looks brilliant, and it looks like Mecha Godzilla is going to be the villain. At least that's what I gathered from the trailer, but there are some other theories out there at the moment. But yeah, let me know what you think about the delays. I know it's annoying, but it's something we've got to live with at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, let me know. Right, moving on to the news that Josh Brolin is reportedly returning to play Thanos. Not just Thanos, though. It's also being rumored that he's going to be playing Cable. So the rumor that he's going to be playing Cable in the MCU comes from Giant Freaking Robot. And you can go to the article over on Small Screen now. There's a lot more information in these articles on Small Screen than what I'm going to go over in this live. I'm just going to go over things quite quickly. But the Thanos story was actually basically confirmed by comic book writer Jim Starling, who was on a podcast, the comicbook.com's podcast Phase Zero, which is actually a really good podcast. You should check that out. If you have the time, you should definitely check that one out. And he was asked about it, and he actually said, I'll just get his quote up. I believe I heard some rumors he's coming back in different things. I think I've heard confirmed from Marvel Studios is that he's going to be at least a guest appearance inside Eternals, so he's going to be around. It's not anything I'm making up, it's something I've read somewhere. So it sounds like, he's going to be coming back as Thanos. It was something that we were wondering about for quite some time now. Is he coming back? Is Thanos coming back to the MCU? Well, it looks like he is, which is kind of, it's like a no-brainer, but also a bit weird, because aren't we going to get a new big bad? I think we are. I think it's just going to be one of those kind of very quick cameos. As far as Cable's concerned, is he coming back in Deadpool 3? Possibly, but it's a bit weird that they bring back both characters. You know what? I thought Cable was really good, and I thought he was really good as Cable in Deadpool 2. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. That Giant Freaking Robot's saying that that's confirmed, basically, that he's coming back as Cable. I'm not so sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. We do know that Deadpool 3 is in the works. It is going to be set in the MCU. It is going to be R-rated. So they definitely could bring back, there's scope to bring back the character, and there's a lot of scope to bring back Thanos. I think they do actually need to bring back Thanos. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Right, moving on. And we've heard, so one bit of news is that Brie Larson is rumored to have joined Thor Love and Thunder's cast. That comes from Daniel Rickman, so maybe take that with a pinch of salt. He's also saying that Tony Stark and Reed Richards will meet in the MCU, even though Tony Stark's dead in the MCU. But again, it's kind of, these things never last. Like, characters don't stay dead for very long, so Tony Stark might end up coming back in some form. We already heard that Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America, so why not bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark? We've also heard rumors that Alfred Molina will be returning as Dr. Octopus after Spider-Man 3. So that again is from Daniel Rickman. That's something that I think probably could happen, but I'm a bit more in the camp of thinking that Alfred Molina is only going to be doing one film as Dr. Octopus and maybe a very short scene in Spider-Man 3. Apparently he was filming and he's finished filming. So that one maybe take with a pinch of salt. Then the more Marvel news is that Marvel's rumored to be rebooting The Punisher, but will keep John Bernthal. So this comes from Giant Freaking Robot. They're claiming that John Bernthal is going to be playing the Punisher, which is something that we broke a couple of weeks ago, which is great news. I love that news. I'm a big fan of John Bernthal. I think he's perfect as the Punisher. I don't think anybody else could play that role. So why not bring him over to the MCU? A lot of people are saying that they're going to reboot these characters. So a couple of days ago, we're saying that Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock Daredevil is going to be rebooted, but they're going to use Charlie Cox. And now we're hearing that John Bernthal's The Punisher is going to be rebooted. What I think is, what I've said this before, and I know a lot of you guys you've been commenting about this on the videos, which is great, by the way. Thank you so much for commenting. But apparently, they're just not going to reference the Marvel Netflix shows. So it's not so much like a reboot. It's more, I suppose the best way to it's just the character that they've played. They'll play them in the same way. They just won't reference everything that went on in those shows, which is, I think, the logical way to move forward. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Final bit of Marvel movie news is that Jim Carrey is rumored to be in talks for a role in the MCU. So this comes from We Got This Covered. And the thing about this is that We Got This Covered literally has, well, not literally, but should really have a category on their site called Jim Carrey, because they love to write about Jim Carrey. I get it, Jim Carrey's great. I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, but they literally have him up for every role under the sun, especially involving comic book movies. I've seen them talk about him being up for the role of the Joker. I've seen them talk about him being up for the role of the Riddler. And now they're talking about him being in the MCU. They've actually talked about this before in the past, saying he's in talks to play a villain in the MCU, which, you know what, I'd be totally down for. I think that would be funny. I think that would be quite interesting casting. I think actually Jim Carrey's a very good dramatic actor, so I think he'd be a good actor to bring in. I'm just saying, prefacing this by saying, well, not prefacing, but I'm saying take this with a pinch of salt. I'm not sure about the provenance of this rumor. It's a rumor at the moment, so it's not confirmed. Everything is a rumor until officially confirmed. Another thing they've been talking about, so this is moving away from Marvel, is that Colin Farrell is rumored to be playing the Penguin in more Batman-related projects. So they're claiming that he's going to be playing the Penguin in either like a Batman spin-off series, which we know there is one coming. It's coming to HBO Max, or a movie. So it makes sense that he'll be playing Penguin again, whether it's in like a sequel or a TV show. I don't know. I haven't personally had any confirmation about that sort of stuff, so I can't tell you whether it's happening or not. But it makes sense. So it's one of those things that they put up there and they're like, yeah, this is like a 90% chance of happening, so we'll write about it. I'm not so sure that it's really something that's they've got. I mean, they might have a source. I don't know. I don't really want to say too much about that, because a lot of the stuff I write about does come from them. But the thing is, if I don't write about it and it ends up being true, then I'm kind of the idiot, because they did say it was going to happen. I do pick and choose sometimes with what they claim to be a scoop, or there are places that I really do trust. Sources like Mikey Sutton, I think, is a really good place to go. Deadline, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, all those sorts of places, yes. Cinema Blend is another one that I really do trust. The Playlist is another one. So, The Wrap, yes and no. Disney Insider actually is a place that I really do. If you're looking for scoops, and if you want to trust them, small screen, of course, we do our very best to keep everything above board. But The Wrap is a pretty Disney Insider, is a pretty good place. Also, I was thinking of others. I'm basically promoting other sites, which is, I'm one of the people that I just don't care if people take my my exclusives, and that's great. But I'm not really in it for the glory. I'm just in it for the excitement, and they're good places to look if you want to find some interesting little stories. There is some clickbait out there. Comicbook.com is another good one, actually. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten a few, and I'm sorry if I have, but there are lots of different sites out there. Maybe if you want to stick to the trades, which is Deadline, the Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, then do so. Entertainment Tonight as well. They have some scoops. Anyway, moving on from that, and moving on to another thing that came from We Got This Covered, which is Jude Law is reportedly being eyed to play an alternative version of the Joker. Again, this is another one of their things where they claim that all these different actors are up for different versions of the Joker, so do take that with a pinch of salt. Right, moving on to an actual, confirmed bit of news is that Zack Snyder revealed he left the Justice League because he was tired of fighting Warner Brothers over the film. So he left Justice League back in 2017, and one of the main reasons why they cited him leaving, was that because his daughter very sadly took her own life, and he wanted to be with his family, which is true. That is very much true. But Cinema Blend's Sean O'Connell, again, Cinema Blend is a very good source. I really do recommend you go and check their site out. You probably do already if you're here. Release the Snyder Cut is his book that's coming out in March, I believe. So coinciding with the release of the Snyder Cut. And he actually revealed that he did in that book. He did an interview, and he shared a bit of the interview on Cinema Blend, and this is what Zack Snyder had to say during the interview. So you go there's the quote for you guys to see. I was just kind of done with it. I was in this place of knowing my family needs me more than this bullshit. And I just need to honor them and to do the best I can to heal that. I believe he says, is it that world? He says, but I was thinking that wound. But I had no energy to fight the studio and fight for the movie. Literally zero energy for that. I really think that's the main thing. I think there's a different world where I stayed and kind of tried. I'm sure I could have, but because every movie is a fight, right? I used to do that. I was used to that, but I just did not have the energy. There was no fight in me, and I had been beaten by what was going on in my life, and I just didn't want to. I didn't care. That was kind of where I was. So it's kind of, he's saying that, it was a fight. It was a fight to get this movie made, and that's pretty much well reported that they did fight. That him and the studio really didn't see eye to eye as far as Justice League was concerned. So they brought in Joss Whedon, and the rest is history. Now, talking of Warner Brothers making filmmakers annoyed, Christopher Nolan is reportedly breaking up with Warner Brothers after the HBO Max debacle. So this was the Wall Street Journal published this, and they said he's unlikely to work with Warner Brothers again, and it's all because of what they did with HBO Max, releasing all the 2021 blockbusters simultaneously on HBO Max and in cinemas, which is really, really annoyed filmmakers, but also other studios such as Lionsgate. They fund a lot of Warner Brothers movies, and Legendary. Sorry, not Lionsgate, Legendary. And Legendary, I believe, basically paid for Dune. So there's been, I think they settled outside of court. I believe it's like $250 million Warner Brothers had to pay Legendary for that film, or, because they're releasing on HBO Max. So people they're not very happy with Warner Brothers. Denis Villeneuve did a big article about it. It was really interesting. You should go and read it. I believe it was in Variety. He did it. And it looks like Christopher Nolan's done with Warner Brothers. So what does that mean? Well, it means that he's got to find another studio that will fund his films. I'm pretty sure he will do. There's like Paramount, Universal, they might work with him. Disney might work with him. I'm pretty sure they'd all love to work with him. But the thing is that he does like to have creative control. And his films need a lot of money. And that Warner Brothers were very, very willing to do that because they made a lot of money out of one another. So Warner Brothers will be really upset about this. And I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan's got a lot of offers. Right, moving on. Cillian Murphy is going to return as Tommy Shelby in a Peaky Blinders movie. So full disclosure, I don't watch Peaky Blinders. I've got a lot of other stuff to watch. But I think season 6 is going to be the last season. And then the creator revealed that they're thinking of doing a movie, and it's going to be focused on Thomas Shelby, who's played by Cillian Murphy, which is, I think, a good way to end the show. So end it with season 6 and then have a movie as a final kind of goodbye to those characters. I think that's a pretty good way of doing it. Whether or not they're going to do like spin-offs with characters, I think they said no to that. I think they just wanted to do this season, then the film, then be done with it. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Right. Robert Rodriguez is working on an animated From Dusk Till Dawn TV show. I love the movie From Dusk Till Dawn. I think it's brilliant. It stars George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. And it looks like Robert Rodriguez is going to be making an animated version of that film. So he was talking about this with SFX magazine, and he just said that he has his own television network. Over there I have my own television network. So I had a television network here, and I needed to create programming, so Quentin Tarantino and I still control the rights to it. So I went, oh, wow, I'd love to expand the story of Pandemonium and the whole Aztec vampire lore for my network. And then internationally, it was put out as a Netflix original. I think it was probably how you saw it. But here, it was an original series for my television network, Action Television Network, called El Rey, which is, the place where they're trying to get the end of From Dusk Till Dawn so it fits perfectly. That's originally why we did it. So we did 3 seasons of that. And he also, they were just, that was the talking about the From Dusk Till Dawn TV show that he did a couple of years ago. And then he went on to reveal that they're now looking towards and in development of an animated Dusk Till Dawn. And apparently they're the first person to hear that, the magazine. And that's really interesting, I think. I think it's a really interesting form. Robert Rodriguez is just, he's so good. And I'm pretty excited to see what he does with this. Again, he's pretty much officially confirmed it, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Moving on, and a little bit of Liam Neeson news here, and that's that Liam Neeson revealed that he's going to retire from action movies. But there's a caveat, is that a lot of people were like, oh my God, this is so upsetting. He's a great action movie actor, which he is. He is really, really good in his action films. I've loved him in the likes of Taken. The first Taken was brilliant. The other ones you can kind of leave them. But like Cold Pursuit, I really loved. The Commuter, I thought was really good. I love the A-Team, Unknown, Non-Stop. Walk Among the Tombstones wasn't great. Run All Night wasn't fantastic, but The Grey was brilliant. The Grey was a really, really good film. And he was talking to Entertainment Tonight, and he said, I'm 68 and a half, 69 this year. So there's a couple more that I'm going to do, which will be coming out this year, hopefully, COVID allowing us. And there's a couple in the pipeline, and then I think that'll be probably it. He said this multiple times, that he said he's calling it quits on action movies a lot, and then he just ends up doing a lot more. So take that with a pinch of salt. I think he'll be doing action movies for a couple of years like to come, I'm pretty sure. Right, Lucasfilm is reportedly planning on making the Mandalorian universe as big as the MCU. So this actually, again, I think this comes from Daniel Rickman, and this is a no-brainer. We already know they're doing this, so I just thought it was quite funny, because I was like, well, we know they're making the Ahsoka Tano show, we know they're making Rangers of the New Republic, we know these things, and these are the Boba Fett series as well, the Book of Boba Fett. So these are all shows which are spin-offs of The Mandalorian, and we know there are going to be more to come. All those other shows, maybe not Rangers of the New Republic, but the Ahsoka show and the Book of Boba Fett are going to be miniseries. They're going to be limited series. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing the Mandalorian as the main kind of the Avengers type shows or show. And then around that, we're going to get some spin-offs, some shorter, not as long seasons, limited seasons of other things. And it'll be great. It'll be fantastic. And I can't wait to see them. More Star Wars movie news. This comes from Making Star Wars. Is that Jar Jar Binks is rumored to be returning for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and apparently have a beard, according to Making Star Wars. I wasn't expecting them to bring him back. Making Star Wars is very Star Wars centric, and they tend to be pretty much spot on with their. I believe so. Another one I didn't mention earlier, another outlet you should check out is Slash Film. Actually, they're pretty good. But so. Is he returning? Well, according to Making Star Wars, he is. I think it'd be a bit weird to see him back, but I'd like to see Ahmed Best come back and play him. I think he was done a massive disservice. It wasn't his fault. The character was, was the way he was. He was told to act that way, and he was just under instructions and doing what George Lucas wanted him to do. So people that took it out on him for that, it's just like, no. I wasn't very happy about that. Other Star Wars news is that Han Solo and Qi'ra are rumored to return in the Mandalorian universe, which is interesting. I'm not so sure if that's happening. I don't think Alden Ehrenreich wants to really play Han Solo again after what happened. I've heard there were plans to do stuff with Qi'ra and Emily Clarke, but those seem to have been kind of forgotten about. If they are going to be in something, I would assume it would be in the Lando series, which we still haven't officially heard whether that will actually feature Donald Glover or not, which is weird. I'm pretty sure it will, but there was no official confirmation of that. So maybe take that with a pinch of salt, I think. Paul Bettany has revealed that this week's episode of WandaVision, so episode 4, will blow our minds. He revealed this on Twitter, responding to Chris Hewitt's tweet about how much he loved the show. The first 3 episodes are now up on Disney+. Episode 3 is brilliant. It's called Now in Colour, and that's a really good episode. I'm a bit sad that they're releasing them weekly because they're not even 30 minutes long. And I think I've told you guys before, I don't like 30-minute long episodes. I like long episodes. And if they release them weekly, I'd rather them be longer. And if they're shorter, I'd rather them just release it all at once. But I know why they're doing this, because it makes sense. It's like a marketing strategy, and it really, really works. The show, I'm pretty sure, performs better this way. We saw it with The Boys Season 2, which was released on Amazon Prime Video weekly, and it did a lot better than Season 1. Season 1 was released all at once. So I think it creates event television again, which I do like. I do like that aspect of it. But it's just frustrating getting to the end of an episode and be like, oh, I just want to watch more, which is really what happened at the end of episode 3. It looks like episode 2, according to Paul Bettany, who of course plays Vision, will blow our minds. So I'm pretty happy about that. Finally, 2 little bits of news. I say little. A live-action Harry Potter series is in development for HBO Max. So this was revealed exclusively by The Hollywood Reporter. There have since been some kind of confusion over whether this is happening or not. Apparently, Warner Brothers said this isn't happening, but it's The Hollywood Reporter, so I think you can trust them. The problem might have to do with J.K. Rowling and the way people view her now, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. I think you should keep Harry Potter and the creator kind of, Harry Potter's a great franchise. There's no reason not to make a Harry Potter show, especially if it's to do with people not liking J.K. Rowling for what she said on Twitter. I don't want to get into all that here because this is just not the place for that. As far as a Harry Potter TV show is concerned, I think it makes a lot of sense because HBO is really at the moment struggling. And they've also, again, this next bit of news, which is to do with the Matrix spin-off show coming to HBO Max. That comes from Giant Freaking Robots, so take that with a pinch of salt. But it seems as though HBO is trying to find ways to make their kind of output more interesting for people because people aren't subscribing to HBO Max. Again, there are problems with HBO Max. The fact that it's not available in Europe is a massive problem, and that they're basically all their subscriber base is it is all located in the United States, which is limited. So they can only have a certain amount of subscribers anyway, so they can never hit the 200 million mark, which Netflix has just done. So that's a problem. That's a massive problem. But they don't have Game of Thrones anymore, which is another problem. So what they can do is make a Harry Potter TV show, which makes sense. Make a Matrix TV show, which makes sense. Make a Batman TV show, which makes sense. They own all of these IPs. So why not try and make good TV out of them? And I think it could work. I think a Harry Potter TV show really would work. I think the medium actually, like the story and the world fits a TV show perfectly. It will go up against the likes of The Witcher and The Lord of the Rings. The Witcher at Netflix, The Lord of the Rings over at Amazon, and they're making those shows, so they'll compete with those shows. They are making a Game of Thrones prequel show. That will be big as well, but they need other stuff. They need more content. They do have good content already, but they need more of it. They need more event content. So stuff like Harry Potter and The Matrix then makes sense, and the Batman TV show also makes sense. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry it was a bit of a whirlwind. There was a lot to get through. I'm glad I got through all of it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. I'll just check to see if you've over on Facebook maybe, but it's like, if you do have any comments, do let me know. You can also, if you want to write for the site, you can write for the site. Oh, that rhymes. Maybe I should do something with that. But if you want to, you can email me at hello@small-screen.co.uk with your pitches. We do pay our writers, and I love to have people write for us that are passionate about things to do with pop culture, of course. Don't come to me with an idea on like music stuff or stuff. We don't cover that sort of stuff. We cover movies, TV shows, video games, and comic books, kind of. But, superhero stuff really works. TV stuff really works. Netflix stuff really works. All that stuff is great for the site. And I love to give people a platform, a voice for like young, enthusiastic writers. And as I said before, we do pay our writers. So that would be great. And we've had some brilliant articles written by some fabulous writers. Lydia, James, Raven, all those people have been fantastic. Daniel, Hamish as well. You've written some great stuff, so thank you very much, and it makes me very, very pleased and proud to see all of that stuff on the site. And if you'd like to follow us, you can follow us at Small Screen Co. That's everywhere on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you'd like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful as well. And listen to this as a podcast over at Small Screen Stories, wherever you get your podcasts. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts would be wonderful as well. You can follow me at EJ Lauder on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again, guys, and goodbye.